Okay guys, welcome back to the Guitar Max channel. One take, unedited, the camera's rolling, and we got our audio going here. We've got a brand new, super affordable guitar to unbox, review, and demo today. And yes, it is another Firefly guitar. So I've done some experimenting, and I've done like, I've done my regular edited review videos, the stuff I've been doing for years with these Firefly guitars, and then I've also done these one-take unedited ones, and I've gone back and forth a few times seeing which ones people like more. And you seem to like the unedited videos better, where it's just this genuine reaction. I take the guitar out of the box, still has the original tape on it and everything. I don't know what I'm going to get, and you see what happens. Not exactly live, but like I said, one take, unedited, what you see is what you get. So you guys like them, we're going to do more of them, and that's what you're getting today. Now, I'll tell you right up front here, what this is a Tele style guitar from Firefly, and this is one of their solid rosewood guitars. But is it really solid rosewood? Because they talk about it as being composite rosewood, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what that means. And I've got the Strat version of it right here. Look at this thing. I mean, this is a beautiful guitar, and I reviewed this one a while back. Awesome guitar. Ugh, very, very heavy though. Anyway, I'll put that over here. We'll check that out in a second. And yeah, today we've got the Tele version of it. So will it be as good as the other one? Well, we're about to find out, all right? So first things first, guys, let's go ahead and get this sucker out of the box. Ooh, nice little new knife. Super sharp here. And we'll just open this up. We'll open both sides, and it should come sliding right out here. Got to take this label off here, make sure nobody can read my address on here and send me all kinds of weird stuff. I think we got that taken care of. There we go. Okay, now these guitars are available, of course, on the Guitars Garden website, which is the official website for buying these Firefly guitars. Some of the Firefly stuff is available on Amazon, but not all of it. And if you really want to make sure you get it, and you want to see everything they have, you got to go to guitarsgarden.com. That's the website. And sometimes it's a little frustrating for me, honestly. You know, I do what I can to give people the information they need to find all this stuff, but people don't always watch the entire video, or they watch the video and they're not really paying attention to it, and you know, they'll leave these comments like, oh, I looked on Amazon, I couldn't find it. I Googled, I couldn't find it. It's like, well, guys, every time I put a link in the video description below, and you know, in this case, it's to the Guitars Garden website, and that's where you get it. Of course, I'm always going to tell you where to get it. I want you guys to be able to get this stuff. Okay, so we've got this thing opened up here, and I'm looking at this, guys, and see, this is the kind of stuff I would normally edit out, but we're getting a little overexposed here, so let's just step this down a little bit. Oh, that's much better. Okay. And now, let's see what we got here. I can tell you right now, it's heavy. It doesn't feel quite as heavy as the Strat version, but it does feel heavy. Oh, this is cool. So this is the standard little cable and Allen wrenches and stuff. This has one of these long straight bars for doing the truss rod adjustment, which means that, yes, the truss rod adjustment is in the neck pocket on the body. Ooh, this is heavy. I'll give you an exact weight in a second, but I always like that truss rod adjustment. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and take this thing out of here. I gotta say, ooh, that is nice. Look at that color, guys. Rosewood. Rosewood neck, rosewood fretboard, rosewood body, everything rosewood. Locking tuners, look at this. This is already off to a great start here. Okay. I was about to talk about how great the packaging is on these guitars, but you guys already know that at this point. Look at this thing. Oh, that is nice. That is a beautiful instrument, beautiful guitar. Okay, guys, right away, I mean, this thing looks great. Look at these bevels here. Look at this belly cut, and this neck joint here is carved down on the corner. It's got a bevel on the back of the lower horn. Can you see that? Yeah, really beautiful. And it's really interesting. It's like the body is done in two halves because it has this seam around the side. But it looks really beautiful. These are just amazingly nice looking guitars. Beautiful wood grain. And that's a big question. People are talking about like, oh yeah, it's like rosewood sawdust. It's like rosewood powder that's put together with resin. And then that's, you know, they make these big blocks of this material, this rosewood resin combination, and then they make the guitar out of that. But then, if that's the case, how do you get this beautiful wood grain if it's just powder and resin? Does the wood grain go all the way through the material? Is the wood grain just on the outside? I know this is going to freak people out, but every once in a while, I saw a guitar in half just to see what it's made out of, just to see what the inside of the guitar is. And man, can you imagine if I took a beautiful instrument like this and just hacked off a huge chunk of it? I might have to do that just so we can really get to the bottom of this. Don't worry. I'm not going to do it in this video. And maybe I won't do it at all. Maybe someone else has already done it, and you know, I won't have to do it. But it's possible that I'll do that in the future. Anyway, don't worry. This guitar, I feel it starting to shake. No, I'm not going to cut you in half. Not right now, anyway. Okay, you're safe for now. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But let's look at some highlights here. So I'm going to weigh this in a second. It is very heavy. But look at this. We've got locking tuners on here. We got 22 of the rounded ball-in stainless steel frets. Really nice bridge. Now, this is a traditional Tele style bridge with the 3 saddles, you know, pairs of strings on each saddle. So it's always a little weird to adjust the intonation on that, but it usually works out pretty good. But it's got brass saddles. This is a Wilkinson bridge setup, so you know, pretty standard controls for a Tele style guitar. And got a little plastic cover here. Let's take this off. There we go. Okay. And yeah, the bar is in here. You put that in here for the truss rod adjustment, and then it goes back and forth. So that's the adjustment right there for the truss rod. So there's no skunk stripe, and there's also nothing up here. Okay, it's just this adjustment. Okay, so let me get my scale here, guys. And let's see how much this thing really weighs. Okay. And we're going to just hang this on here. Ooh, man, okay. I don't know if you can see that. 9.73, 9.7 pounds. That's not 9 pounds, 7 ounces. It's 9.7 pounds. So that's very close to a 10-pound Tele. Okay, quite a beast here. I will say one good thing, though, is a lot of weight is in the body. I mean, the neck is not light, too, because the neck is made of the same material. But it's having a bad hair day here. There we go. But there is a lot of weight in the body, so that's going to help it balance pretty well. But yeah, overall, this thing is really, it feels great. Satin finish on the whole guitar. Beautiful looking guitar. Now, of course, that's not in tune. Everything's very flat. I can tell you right now, this thing has like super low action on it, but it's not in tune yet. So let's go ahead and plug it in, tune it up, listen to how it sounds, and then I'll give you, a report on how it plays and all this stuff. Now, of course, guys, real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, checking out cool new affordable guitars, excuse me, and staying up on all the latest news in the guitar universe, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay, with that in mind, let's go ahead and plug this in. I want to warn you headphone users, this could be a little loud. There you go, that wasn't too bad. And yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing in tune here. All right. I can tell you right now, the action might actually be too low on this. I've got my tuner over here. My tuner app, I should say. I'm gonna put it over here. That sounded pretty good so far. We can stretch the strings a little bit. I'll turn the volume down for this, so I don't drive you guys nuts here. Always good to stretch the strings. And, you know, when you get a new guitar, when you get new strings or something, then you tune it again, and then it stays in tune. Getting there. Okay, very, very low action on this. Now, I want to be totally honest here. You know, and this is the whole reason I do these one-take unedited videos, is so you can experience what it's really going to be like for you to get one of these guitars and take it out of the box and tune it up and play it. You know, do the same thing I'm doing. And the action is so low on the bass strings, you know, the low side here. There's a little buzzing on the low E string. Just can't quite see where it's coming from. Let me check something real quick here. Ah, well, that's the problem. So this needs a little bit of neck relief. So guys, let's just go through this here. We're going to go through this together and see what we can do here. Now, I'm going to make a setup adjustment to this, but I want to warn you guys. Normally, I say, when you get a guitar and you take it out of the box and you tune it up and you play it for the first time, don't make setup adjustments right then, or expect, if you make setup adjustments, you're going to have to adjust it again in a few days. You want to give your guitar a few days to get used to your local climate and stuff, because it's been shipped. Maybe it was sitting in a trailer or, you know, some warehouse with no climate controls. You know, it went through a bunch of temperature changes, different humidity changes, and that really screws everything up. And it takes a few days for things to kind of settle down. That being said, here we are on camera. We can't wait a few days. So I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment to the truss rod. And I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. There we go. About that much. Ah, that might do it right there. And let's see if that helped the buzzing. It did. Okay, so the problem there was the neck had no concave. It wasn't even flat. It wasn't concave, wasn't flat. It was actually bowed up a little bit, which is usually pretty bad. So it was creating a high spot right here in the middle of the neck. So it was causing some fret buzzing when you're playing in that part of the neck, you know, on like the 5 to 10th fret right in there. But it just took a few turns. You know, it took like 1, 2, 3, you know, 3 small turns with this thing. So that's probably like 1/4 of a third of a full turn, loosening it up. And that pretty much solved the problem right there. But again, if you do that right when you get out of the box, you probably have to make an adjustment to it later on. But anyway, let's play a little bit more and really listen to how this thing sounds. That was all in the bridge pickup here. These strings are like right down on the frets. This is super low action. Okay. Beautiful tone. Surprisingly chunky tone for a Tele style guitar. You know, obviously these are known for being bright and jangly. This is a slightly darker sound to it. Yeah. Okay, let's get into a little bit of a cleaner sound here. See here. Now, I made that truss rod adjustment. I should have tuned it up just then. I didn't really do that. So everything was flat. So if there's people listening with perfect pitch, it's probably driving them nuts. But I do not have perfect pitch. And this thing's still getting brighter on us here, man. Yeah, noticeably darker sound. Which I like. Can you hear that? Yeah, there's still a little buzzing going on. You can't hear it there, but you can hear that on the open string, right? So I gotta say, this thing sounds beautiful and it plays pretty good, but this guitar does need a little more setup than the Strat did, and it needs a little more setup than some of the other Firefly guitars that I've gotten recently. Why is that exactly? I mean, you know, it's not that this is made any worse. I mean, the manufacturing is very, very consistent on these. I think for whatever reason, maybe this one was just sitting in a warehouse longer, or it got bumped around in shipping, or just whoever was doing the QC was, adjusted it slightly differently than some of the other people doing that kind of stuff. So it's not a bad thing. But, and again, guys, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier, how incredibly affordable these guitars are. To get a guitar like this, under $300, well under $300, which is what these guitars are going for, it's so good. I mean, it's unbelievable, the stuff that you're getting, like with the frets, the rounded ball and stainless steel frets, and the locking tuners and the Wilkinson bridge and all this stuff, and the fact that it's this beautiful Rosewood guitar. I mean, you can't get these guitars. You can't get this quality for that price anywhere else, really. So, yeah, I mean, there's like, oh no, I have to do a little bit of setup here, which, will take 10 minutes or something. I mean, it's nothing to complain about. Anyway, so that was the clean. Let's actually, because these are pretty low output pickups, let's really crank up the gain here and see if we can get something that's really more metal-y sounding out of this. See what we can do. There we go. Whew, it's a little hot. Let me turn that down. Okay. Making the stink face, it's that good, right? That's a pretty awesome metal sound for a Tele style Rosewood guitar like this. I mean, it's granted, we've got like all the gain from my Boss IR200 amp and cabinet simulator. That's what I'm using for the demo. And remember, guys, that's about a $400 piece of equipment. So you're looking at like a $250 guitar-ish, and then $350 worth of amp gear. And that's the sound you're hearing. So I'm not using a bunch of like, many thousands of dollars worth of studio equipment to make this stuff sound better than it really is. I mean, this is how it sounds. Plug in and go. Okay. Can we do drop D on this? All right, guys, there we go. So that is the Rosewood Firefly Tele style guitar. Almost 10 pounds, and apparently all that weight gave it a big, chunky, dark sound, which I really, really like. Just, yeah, keep in mind, guys, if your experience is the same as mine, you may have to do a little more setup work on this guitar than some of the other Firefly guitars. Again, I don't know why that is, but that's just the experience I'm having. It definitely needed a truss rod adjustment, and then I might, I'm probably going to end up raising up the action a little bit because it's so low right now. There's still a little bit of buzzing there. And I don't know how much that comes through the amplifier and all that stuff, but I can definitely hear it. And I'm sure some of you can hear it too, certainly on the clean settings and stuff. But yeah, guys, what do you think of this guitar? So would you rather have the Strat or the Tele? If I have to choose between the two, I'm always going to be a Strat guy. But this thing is really, really nice too. And the other big question is, should I cut one of these guitars in half just to see what the wood really is? Does the wood grain go all the way through? Is it just like sawdust in the middle and there's this weird like veneer on the outside? What's really going on? Should I cut one of these in half to find out for sure? Let me know in the comments section below. I know that's ridiculous, but hey, sometimes you got to do ridiculous things if you want to really understand the world of guitars, okay? So guys, as usual, I'm going to have links for everything I was talking about in the video down in the video description below. I'll have a link for this guitar. I will have a link for the Boss IR200 amp and cabinet simulator, and I will also have a link for my new YouTube program and my social media and my instructional videos, all that stuff down there in the video description. Now, I'm going to leave you guys, after we've gotten through this one-take unedited review, I'm going to leave you guys with some nice close-up images of this guitar so you can see the bridge and some of the nice details and stuff. And aside from that, guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon.